my slips, my falls, my trials and tribulations, my heart, my balls, my somebody stop me, somebody come and get me. Little did I know that the Lord was riding with me. The dark, the light, my heart, the fight, the wrong, the right is gone.
Welcome back, Team JVS, to another movie review. This time we are reviewing the Oscar hopeful Harriet, starring Cynthia Erivo. I think I'm saying her name right. I don't get names right all the time, but Cynthia Erivo. I think I'm saying her name right. Also stars Leslie Odom Jr. If you've seen Hamilton, you know exactly who that is. Who else we got starring in this movie? Miss Janelle Monae. Listen, okay, so I don't know if I need to give a synopsis on a movie called Harriet that's based off of Harriet Tubman. I'm assuming me, we kind of know, like, Harriet Tubman. But I'll give you one quick. It is based on the life of the abolitionist. I think I said that right too. Harriet Tubman, who escaped slavery and led hundreds of enslaved people to freedom on an underground railroad. So, first things that I learned, or not that I learned, that the world will learn about this movie. Harriet Tubman did not start the Underground Railroad. Let's start there, because I think that's the most like told misconception, is that she started the Underground Railroad. No. Started much more before her. That her name is not Harriet Tubman, that she chose Harriet Tubman as her name. Tubman was her first husband's name, and Harriet was what they called her mom, so she took that when she became free. She took up the name Harriet Tubman. That's another interesting point that we didn't know about. Trying to think of what else. It's history, people. You should know about Harriet Tubman. And that's what this movie does an amazing job at. Cynthia is a revelation in this movie. As Harriet Tubman, she plays her with grace, dignity, strength, power. I can't think of other words to describe how good she is as playing Harriet Tubman. Everyone else is a supporting character. Harriet Tubman reminded me a lot, and I'm talking about the movie when I say Harriet Tubman, I know because there's a person named Harriet Tubman, but I'm talking about the movie Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman is a film reminded me of the Joker, and before you all kill me and throw Nightwing stars at me and yell, F. Lucas. And she throw the stars at me like Robin did at the beginning of the Titans. Before you do that, this is why I compared it to films. The Joker was a piece set up to highlight Joaquin Phoenix. This movie is set up to highlight Cynthia at her best. Jeez Louise. Like, besides Joaquin Phoenix, there's not a better, like, one-person show going in any film this year. And I've seen lots of them, and I've seen other people act extremely well on film. She kills this role, and this movie is squarely on her shoulders. Everyone else is a supporting character. She is the star of it, and that's what sticks out, is that she's the star of it, the way Joaquin Phoenix was star of the Joker. But again, without giving up too much, but everyone knows the story of Harriet Tubman. She's a slave. Her masters were going to sell her. She decides at that point it is better for her to run and be free than to be sold off. And we see it as the story touches on that her sister was sold from her mom, and she did not know where her sister went, and they killed her mom. That her sister was somewhere where no one knew her name, no one knew who she was. So Harriet did not want that life. So that's why she escaped. We see her harrowing escape from Bucktown, Maryland to Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where free slaves were. And if you were a slave and you got there, you got to be free. And we see her journey. We see everything she endured to do that, and her still wanting to go back to help other people do that is what sticks out. And again, the performance, the central performance, the only performance that matters in this movie is I can't speak enough of it. I cried. Now look, I know I cry a lot. There's a chance I do. I know as I get older, emotions just started to control. But I cried during this movie, and I cried during this movie because Every time she was on screen, you felt what she said. Every time. And that's a rarity in films where you believe the actor every time they open their mouth. She is so powerful. And look here, anybody who knew her, you knew this was going to happen. If you saw a performance of The Color Purple on Broadway, you know it was going to happen. If you possibly saw her in Windows in a very small role, but you still saw the power in her role in Windows. Like, she destroys this role. Right now, she's my front runner for Best Actress. And I've seen also performances from a lot of actresses, but none like this. The same way I kind of felt at one point in time about Joaquin Phoenix with the Joker. Her performance is that good. It elevates a film that, in all honesty, at its best is average. At its best, Harriet is an average film with an amazing, outstanding performance wrapped in it, which elevates the film. It made it a must-see because this could have went down a horrible path. Again, the writers, directors, I think the director is Casey Lyman's, woman director, super dope, super cool. She also wrote it along with Gregory Howard, I believe, from a Q&A when they had after the film that I think it may have been that Gregory wrote the original screenplay for it when Miss Lyman's came on and rewrote it to include more of Harriet's actual life, her actual stories in it. And when she does that, along with Cynthia's amazing performance, you feel every bit of Harriet Tubman as a film. Again, I'm going to say it's an average film. Out of 4 stars, I would give it 2. But her performance is an 8 out of 4 stars. I know that's an extra 4, but she needs an extra 4 for this performance. It is standout. Every time she's on film, every time she's on screen in this film, you're going to be hooked and want to see more and more and more of her. So much so, I'm doing this review without glasses. Do you know how hard it is to read off of something with no glasses? Just to talk about somebody and how amazing their performance was? That's how I felt about this movie, man. I'm getting hype again because I'm going to go see this movie again. And I don't go see many movies twice, and I definitely don't go see average movies twice. But her performance is it's hard to describe. Again, I give you the parallel of Joaquin Phoenix for the people who've seen the Joker recently. If I was to go back and think of the last time I saw someone win an Oscar or win multiple awards with this type of performance in an average movie, it would be Meryl Streep. I think she did in her last Oscar-winning role in The Iron Lady, where the movie was really average, but her performance was just a cut above everything humanly possible. That's how I feel about Cynthia. I believe her performance in here is just magnetic. It is hard to describe. And again, this is not an easy movie to watch. It is very hard to watch. And it doesn't matter your race. No matter what your race is, this is a hard movie to watch, and you're going to enjoy her performance in it. This has been Team JVS with our review of Harriet. 2 stars out of 4. Performance-wise, though, 10 stars out of 4. Performance-wise, jeez Louise, she blows this away. And I would want to congratulate her now on her Oscar. She needs to get her speech together because right now ain't nobody beating her.